Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CJ, and this is the Bullshit Podcast, where I talk all things LARP and just a bit of general bullshit. Today's theme that I wanted to talk about and sort of focus on is costuming and kit creation. So just my tips, tricks, inspirations, and then I might do a bit of a review of other people's kit and costume and just sort of give my thoughts and honest feedback and things that I would change or things that I may steal. So let's get straight into it. Welcome back, and that's the penis. Now, I will do a video where I go to an op shop and I just sort of show what I'm looking for when I go to op shops, but that'd be the first place that I would go. I wouldn't go online and go to your Epic Armories and all that sort of stuff looking for soft kit. I would go to things like wish.com. I think it's a .com. I don't know. I use the app. So I go to Wish, op shops, anywhere you can get something for cheap. If that's where you're starting, go cheap. Because you may find in a month that you actually hate LARPing and you don't ever want to go again and you've just spent $80 on a shirt. So I would definitely start cheap. And when I go to op shops, the things that I'm really looking for are obviously things that would fit the theme of the LARP. So obviously my focus is fantasy, medieval, Viking style. So I would be looking for earthy tones, so browns, greys, blacks. Sometimes I'll pick a sort of off creamy, dirty looking white, but my main focuses are those earthy tones. And then the things that I layer on top are with my warband colors, so the reds and the blacks and white. So I mainly focus on getting, if I'm starting a new character, it would be pants, boots if you can find boots, female boots or lady boots or whatever you want to call them. Women's shoes, generally look there and you'll find some boots, but a lot of the times they have sort of a heel on them and you kind of don't want that because it's not good for your balance. But yeah, I'm looking for pants, boots, belts, a shirt, and then a jacket or a vest or something to put over it just for a bit of layering. And then you want to look at things like, and most people skip past this for some reason, but you go to the jewelry section and just look up big chunky pieces of jewelry, things that you can just chuck on, even if you put a bracelet and hang it off your belt. Just something to sort of add layers and depth to your costume, because if you just come in with a brown shirt, brown pants, black shoes, and a black vest, you're going to look like the most basic person in the world, and it may actually hurt you motivation-wise, because you might, when you buy it, think you look cool, then you rock up to the LARP and you look like a starter character in a Skyrim type game. Like, there's nothing to you, there's no flavor. So before you leave the op shop, definitely look at things like belts, buy multiple belts and wear multiple belts, because that always looks really cool when there's like a bunch of belts there, and then hang shit off of it. Even if it's just pieces of cloth, get it a bit dirty, hang it off your pants, and then it's just like every time you wash your hands, you wipe your hands on that cloth, and that's why it's a bit dirty. The other thing that I would focus on when I get into an op shop looking for costuming is also very light, and I mean like weight wise, very light cups and kettles, like a little metal kettle. If you can hang a little metal kettle, goddamn. If you can hang that off your belt, it looks like you're traveling, and that brings you into that character a little bit more. You bring a kettle because you know you're going to camp somewhere, make hot tea or whatever you want to make, have a cup of Milo, and you're in the character because you've got something there that says that character is alive, not just placed into a world. Another thing that a lot of people won't be doing, and you got to kind of be a bit of a ballsy fucker to do it, but when people throw out couches and you see the couches on the side of the road, get a Stanley knife, get out there and just cut strips of leather off of them, because they're going to the bin anyway. Like, as long as they're already fucked up, like, you don't want to go out there and cut up a pristine couch that someone's just moving out and they don't want that couch anymore. Like, let someone have that couch. But if the leather's all fucked up, feel free to go out there and just cut the strips off of it, and before it gets thrown out, you've got a bunch of cool ass leather that you can use, and they're already throwing it out, so it doesn't affect them in any way. It just might look ugly until rubbish day. But yeah, that is one thing that a lot of people would avoid. And to be honest, that's how I built a lot of my orc kit. I used couch leather, and it just adds so many layers to my war belt, which is like a skirt sort of thing that I built, and I just layered leather and chainmail on top of each other until it was like real bulky. And it's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever used. A bit outdated now, I definitely want to update it, but it's really interesting. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it is pissing down rain outside. That's really annoying. Okay, and the last bit of advice before I jump into some LARP news is using Wish. If you're going on to Wish, you're going to get ripped off. So I bought some sort of like boot covers, like shin guards, and they're leather, and they're meant to be red and black leather. But in the picture, obviously, they use real leather, and then when you get them, you get this fucking cellophane thin fucking shit leather. You're going to get ripped off, but you have to know what you're going to do if you are ripped off. So with those shin guards, I don't use them very often, but I plan on putting fur and padding behind them, so even though it's shit leather, it's still going to be thick enough where I can wear it and it's going to look good. Because if you just wear that over your fucking boots, it doesn't look good. I'm not a big fan of that, so definitely focus on that. And you're going to get things with shitty buckles, like the belt buckle style things that strap onto your either your wrist or your shins. Get ready to rip those buckles off and put on new buckles, because the leather that they give you is so thin that any sort of stress on it makes the rivets pop, the leather stretch or rip. So get ready to switch the buckles out, because if you don't, you're going to end up losing bits of armor randomly throughout the battlefield, and that's just going to cause headaches for you in the long run. So definitely focus on that. Alright, so, well, screw it. Let's just jump straight into the LARP news, because we've got some big stuff happening, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to announce some of this yet, but I'm going to spit it out anyway. But I'm hearing things that Swordcraft has purchased land, and they are going to be allowing people to come out there and build semi-permanent structures on it. And that's a big thing for me. Finally, a property where we can go out there and put something on it and leave it there for Swordcraft events. Because they had that in a long time ago. They had the Nuji property. But I don't know, they didn't do their research or whatever the fuck. But we weren't allowed to build shit on it. Like the council or fucking First Nation land rules or something. I don't know. There was so many rumors flying around why we couldn't build on it, and I've lost track of which ones were true, which ones weren't. So yeah, I think Nuji was mainly a giant meth lab, and we weren't allowed to build there because then we would draw heat and the fuzz would come down there and arrest everyone. We'd all get a finger up the bum looking for that crystal, all that sort of stuff. So they've now got a new property, and they're allowing people to come down there and build on it and leave their buildings there, which is massive. I can't wait to get down there. I'm going to bring a couple of the boys down there at some point. We'll do a bit of a working bee. We'll build a small camp. We'll make it strong. We'll make it last, because that's the main focus. We don't want something that we're going to go there the next time and it's on its fucking ass. So that's a big thing for me. I can't wait to get out there and try that out. Swordcraft is having their quest, as I said in the last episode, in September. Sadly, I won't be able to go to that event, which is going to be the introduction to this property, which fucking sucks for me, because I really want to be a part of the first event there. I do miss going to Swordcraft events. I haven't been a fan of the theme that they've got going on, but if they've got other things to sort of draw me in, that's sort of energized me and inspired me to get back into Swordcraft a little bit. And I do miss the Friday games. I'm more of a fan of the Friday games for Swordcraft than I am for Exodus. They're my two main options. I prefer the Swordcraft style than I do the Exodus one, because Exodus, the field's not as good. But that's nothing to do with anything, so shut up. But yeah, so if I can get out there and build a small little bull camp or a goat camp, I'll probably focus on goat camp for this one, to be fair, because every time I build a bull camp, I sort of dominate and take over. But there's so many goats that I would want them to be in charge, because the way that I run things is kind of like the immersion Nazi style. Like, if it's not my way, I feel like it's not working, and it annoys me. But if I'm letting the goats take control and they build their own thing, I don't want to come off like a dick. I'll definitely help. I'll definitely do everything I can to make it look amazing, but I'm not going to dictate how things should be. Because other people have other visions. I understand that. In bull camp, that's my world. In goat camp, that's the family. So I'm sure some of you have noticed this little folder here on my desktop. Larp porn. Let's just open that up. Okay, so this is my review of different people's costuming and kit from around the world. This is all just stuff that I found on the internet. It's not like I've gone onto people's personal pages and stolen this. This is all public stuff, so don't try and cancel me for anything. But let's just get straight into it. So we'll start off with this fella here. Absolutely loving it, how well fitted the armor is. Like, everything's like hugging the shit out of his body. I love these little runes that he's got sort of painted into it as well. That's a cool little addition to armor. Like, he could just leave it and it would still look cool, but he's found ways to add in extra bits and pieces. These purity seals, I think a lot of people call them, with the sigil and like the scrolling rune. That's always a good addition. Usually it's something religious, which is cool, which means that there's more to the story than just like man in armor. And the axe is actually really nice as well. It's got like a dwarven sort of feel, which is friggin' cool. The necklace is the main thing that I think people will be drawn to. I would change this chain out, or at least color it differently, because the silver sort of feels like it breaks up the character a little bit. Like, everything's these dark, rusty, ugly colors, and then there's just that a bit too shiny. But other than that, it looks like he's got ears and bits and bobs on there, which I can't really tell exactly what they are, but they look like trophies, which I'm a big fan of. His hairstyle is pretty good as well, like with the shaved and the slick back. That's nice. The face paint, I love how dirty it looks and like just fucked up, like he's had it on for 8 hours. Sweating all through it. Awesome. Gambo flopping out the top there. Beautiful. Everything on him is color matched. Absolutely love this kit. We'll move on to Sonia. This is Sonia. She's probably a well-known LARPer now. I think everyone's sort of seen her blow up in the last 2 or 3 years or whatever it may be.
Welcome to Sonia's Adventures.
Her kit's always ridiculous. She's someone that I feel like I also get inspired by, because she, from what I can tell, sort of came into it 100% looking like this. She doesn't have any photos that I can find of her just wearing like basic ass kit. There's always these 100 necklaces, belts, furs, everything. Like, everything about Sonia I absolutely love. She's got a great sort of fast roguey type figure, which is nice. You sort of feel like she could come in, stab you, get back out. Really cool, as opposed to the big clunky style. I feel like the fast figure works really well for women and elf type characters. Like, you want to believe that they don't want to be in there thrown down with the big clunkies. The layering on her kit is always ridiculously good. This tartan bit here kind of feels out of place. I don't know. It might just be me, but yeah, her kit's always ridiculous, and her makeup game is fucking ridiculous as well. Absolutely love Sonia. Keep up the good work, Home Slice. Now, this Orc Mask is fucking sexy. Like, it looks gross. Like, I want to lick it. It looks that gross. And then you've got the hair on top as well, which is really good because it's not like shiny, and it looks kind of fucking dusty. I like that. The face paint and the scarring on it as well, like these 3 rip scars, look awesome. The addition of the sort of chainmail earrings sort of looks like the links, just hoopy sort of stuff. Really well done. He's taken the time and painted around his eyes to match sort of the blending sort of feel. Kit wise, this is one of the most basic orcs that you'll find, but it still looks good. Like, the sigil on front looks really nice. Like, I like how it sort of looks like an orc climbing over a wall. But I wish he would add a little bit more to it. Like, the clothing having the rips and the holes in it, really nice. The mantle being all shit and like tangled, that's a good look. And the wrist guards are a nice thick dark brown leather, but it is a very basic orc, and I feel like he will continue to add to that. So if I saw him next to, say, your Drakenfest orcs, or some of the orcs that I've got in this list a little bit later on, you'll see what I mean by this is a very basic orc. This is a great example of realistic sort of feeling Viking kit. Whether or not it is 100% historically accurate, I don't know, I'm not that smart. But this shield's pimping. The boots I love, like they've got that sort of strap crisscross lacing, and then he's got like foot wraps, which is a really cool look. I don't know how comfortable and how padded they would be on the bottom, but it looks really good. I love the stitching up the side of his pants here. That's something that I think a lot of people should sort of look at doing, is splitting your pants and then stitching them back up. It looks awesome, and it feels like your pants have had a bit of wear and tear. Obviously beard and hair is on point, but this Loki style like woven leather is fucking sexy. Even with this big goofy collar sort of section, it looks really good. Like that reminds me of Blackadder, how they have the collars. It reminds me of that a little bit, but that's a really good kit. Nice, basic, to the point. You know exactly what he's going for. This is one of the examples that I have of something that's a little too sexed up for me. Like when you go to a LARP and you're a good looking girl and you sex up your costume, you definitely get a lot more attention. And a lot of the times it's kind of creepy attention, but this is one of those examples I wanted to put in here of just really sexed up sort of look. But she's killing it, like fucking killing it. The dreads in her hair, the bones just everywhere on her, the leather strapping, the chains, everything about this kit looks really friggin' sick. I love that she's got one shoulder and one exposed. That's a cool thing. I reckon she would be dangerous if she threw earrings in there, because her hair looks like it would get caught in them. But this kit looks awesome. But again, it's so sexed up that it kind of, I don't know, it makes you feel creepy, because you're gonna notice, right? I'm a dude. I'm gonna notice you. But I feel like if you can get this much detail into that sort of kit, like where it's just basically a bra, and you make that the top half of her body is fucking insane. I don't even know what she's got going on down below. That sounds creepy. But she might have like really shitty kit down below, but that's why they've taken the photo up top. But she looks fucking awesome. I love the lip rings as well. God damn, I didn't even notice them. That's gangster. Welcome to Complex Orc. That mask is sick. It's not your typical orc face mask. That's really cool. And he's got hair under there as well, because you can see it poking out at the sides here. But look at this. He literally looks like he just climbed out of a swamp. That's fucking nice. I like how wet it looks, but it's probably not wet. The layering he's got perfect. Like, this is a small orc layered well, is what I'm saying. Like, he's got this thing, it looks like it's just over the, like a poncho, a mini poncho. And then he's got armor underneath that. Armor underneath that. There's layering here. This strap going across, this, that. Oh man, this is a really good kit. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's what they are. He's an archer. Alright, these are arrows. Okay. So I was wondering what that was. It looked kind of weird. But this kit with the hood, mwah, beautiful. Absolutely love that one. I'm a big fan, especially of that mask. That is creepy. With the contacts too. Come on, boy. Alright, here's a bigger example of completely sexed up. This obviously isn't LARP, but this is what I mean. Like, when you get the girls out there playing a warrior character and they're super sexed up, I just don't believe it. But obviously she's not a cosplayer. She's a cosplayer, not a LARPer. But that you see that sometimes at LARP, and that to me sort of draws me out of it, because it's less believable. Why would you walk into a battle with your stomach, legs, and cleavage out. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But it looks cool, hey? This is one that I did. This is... and I'm going to be critical of myself here. So this is me and my friend Richie. Richie's in the red, I'm in the green. So Richie's costume, he doesn't LARP at all. He just sort of put on the kit and we went to Comic-Con together. The shirt with the different textures and the rips and everything, these shirts we got at I think it was a costume shop, and they were used in a medieval play or something like that, and they were really, really good. That leather armor is way too clean. I always wanted to mess that armor up. I don't even know where that armor has gone. Richie, do you have that armor? If you've got that armor, can I have that armor back? I don't know where that went. The necklace, the roping is just a brown leather rope, but it doesn't fit in. Like, it sticks out way too much. The color change, right? And then the bones. You can't change the bone color, but his beard fits perfect with that mask. So yeah, he would have added shoulders if we had shoulders. The hammer's really mean looking. It's got like a anal probe spike on the end of it, which was really gruesome looking. And then we get down to his belt. So we got one white fur, doesn't fit in, then one black fur. These colors, the earthy browns, are too bright. So this costume, although we were the best looking orcs at Comic-Con, there's a lot that I could have done with his kit to make it look a lot better. Then we'll move on to me. I was really proud of this orc kit when I was starting out. So I would say from the waist up is pretty good color-wise. I wish this sleeve was a bit darker, and I wish that this scarf was a bit darker. We were sweating like a motherfucker, so I'm surprised that our face paint stayed on as well as it did. But then you get down here, and I've got two swords going on. This looks like I looted a dwarf, this sheath, but it doesn't match the color scheme as well as I would like. And then obviously my war belt and pants are too bright, so everything there needs to be darker. But all in all, I think they're both pretty good kits, but definitely I would add on to and modify the shit out of both of them. This is my basic sort of Viking Warrior style kit. I don't use the shoulders anymore. The leather I want to modify. There's a lot of this that I do want to sort of change up. But I've got the brown shirt underneath, a black shirt on top of that, the black leather armor. Everything color matches. It hugs my body really well. But I'm just too old for big metal shoulders now, so I got rid of those. This is in the rain, so hence the sexy... I look like a homeless Irishman. Moving down, I've got this Pitbull flag that I used to rock when I was with the Briarwolves. And then I've got a lot of layering, so dark browns and blacks with... I think I had two belts on, but one of them goes underneath that armor. Burp. And then the shield, I think, was a nice addition with the ripping at the bottom. It's one of my bull flags, right? This shield is just a foam shield with a dragon on the front of it. That does not suit my character at all. So I just covered it with one of the flags. And obviously in a battle that would get cut to shit, right? But it was my way of sort of representing the bulls clearly to everyone that I was fighting, so they knew I was an enemy or a friend. But I thought it was a nice look to sort of layer over the top of the shield and yeah, sort of be able to represent my warband through that. This is my more in-depth sort of, I made a little bit of money, so I bought myself a little bit of armor style. This one I went with browns. So the only metal I've really got on me is the the wrist guards. And I've got the brown shirt, brown dwarven hood, brown armor, brown belting, brown frog, brown gloves. Like, everything I wanted is brown, and this kit I love. Conga gave me, I bought the armor off of Conga. This is embossed and, you know, engraved or whatever you want to call it. And he did this one custom for me, which is the bull logo with the 3 on it, which represents my 3 gods. But I really love this kit because it's kind of simple. It's a lot like that guy at the start of the video. or at the start of the reviews, where it's just sort of simple, gets to the point, and it looks the part. This is another simple orc, but really well layered. This is what I was saying with the multiple belts. So he's got the big weightlifter's belt with the double belting on it. Big fan of that. His gloves, ridiculous. His wrist guards, ridiculous. He's gotten the word now. Gambo, ripped and dirty and burnt. Awesome. His chainmail, this guy gives me the feel that he's like a miner / blacksmith style. Like, he's really simple. He can't have big giant shoulders on if he's working, so that's the sort of feel I get from this guy. His teeth are really good as well, and then he's got the war belt with the hanging down sort of tassets of material. Then the gambo extends really well. The shins coming in with the metal. Everything about this kit looks really good. Those boots, I reckon I would break those boots in about 3.5 seconds, but that's a really good thin orc. That's a look that a lot of people can't pull off. I gotta be a bit critical here. So this is that Urukai helmet style. And a lot of people sort of stole that from the Lord of the Rings movie and then started incorporating it into orcs all around the world. But I feel like this armor is way too angled. Now, I don't know what he's meant to be. He's got the teeth of an orc, face paint, but then his neck's pink, his hands are pink. So I don't know if he's playing a half orc or he's just a monstery type man. But I don't like that there's so many angles on this armor. It looks like it would just poke you a lot. Like if he lifted this arm up, this corner would end up jabbing him in the face and stuff. So I'm not a big fan of those shoulders, but they're easy to mod. The armor looks really clean, like really clean. For like a scary type character, everything looks really clean. I would definitely modify the arse out of that. I'm not a big fan of fantasy, big like Arthur style swords and axes and stuff like that, but who knows what sort of style they're going for in that LARP. But all in all, I think this kit is a good start for layering, like white, black, chain, leather. He's got layering going on, and the belt's really nice. I'm a big fan of that belt. But I feel like there just needs to be more to it. And that's a great base, but I reckon he's definitely added on since this photo was taken. And I would too. Love it. This is what I was saying with the sort of quick in and out sort of style elf type characters. This guy's believable. His kit's amazing. Like he looks like a hunter type elf. I'm a big fan. The face paint's really good. His hairstyle's good for it. The foxes coming down, really good. The tattered, ripped up pants, awesome. The gloves, everything about this kit, I love. Absolutely love. Love the setting as well. What's that? He's got a small semen sample jar there that everyone needs to have at LARP. Got to make sure. Has he got no shoes on? That's a ballsy man. I like it. He's got that Nagambi feet. Well done, mate. But this is a really good example of in and out elf style. More of that sexed up stuff, just to keep you guys clicking. But this, if you can play this style, right? This sort of sexed up shaman style, and I love that. I would never hate on that. Like I wouldn't see her going into battle on the front lines, but I could see her doing rituals. Things involving blood, smoke, bones, that sort of stuff. I love that sort of stuff, but yeah, not a frontline battle kit, but looks really good. A little bit plain, like even though it's got layering, I love the loop sort of W sort of style stuff hanging down, but I feel like you could add a little bit more to that, like something to the arms maybe, I think is what's sort of drawing me out of it. This is a frontline battle thing. So before anyone gets all pissy, I'm not saying that women can't do frontline battles. I'm saying they need to be appropriate. And this is appropriate. Like, take a shot to that shoulder, you'll be fine. I love the face paint. It's really simple. The hair color is fucking awesome. But everything else about this is simple but layered still. So you got the chain. I think they're bells, which is a cool idea. I want to steal that idea. See, I'm inspired. Nice little pouch here. I don't know, is that a dragon? on a desert island. I don't know. Oh, they look nice as well. I like these angles. Now this kind of looks like foam. That doesn't look like metal. And if that's foam, well done, because it works really well with this. And that's clearly metal. I'm not going to say that that's foam at all. That's clearly metal. That corner looks like it's going to poke you in the titty. But all in all, awesome kit. Absolutely love that. Yeah, definitely fight side by side with you. This, at the risk of sounding creepy, is sexually arousing to me. Look at the detail. There's a million beads with a crow skull, the face paint, the nose chain, the hat of a wolf. Like, fucking hell. This makes my orc characters look shit. This is why, like, I don't play my orc that much, because getting to that level, that's a full-time job. God damn, that looks amazing. And the mask sort of prosthetics or whatever we're using makes it look really scary as well. Okay, so the last tip that I would really have for you is to do exactly what we just did. Look at other people's kits, get inspired, get ideas, think about how you would change things. Don't copy paste, but definitely take inspiration, because people like Sonia, people like the orcs at Drakenfest, they give me a lot of inspiration because of the way that they layer things, the way that they add bits and pieces that tell a story without actually needing to talk about them. That was like my idea with the kettle. I've never seen anyone do it, but having a kettle hanging off your belt, I think, is a good story piece. And the last thing I want to say is, now that I'm back trying to do regular Thursday shows, I'm also going on holiday. So I might be doing my next show from Fiji. And if I do, I might do that one on camera, but who knows? Let's see what happens. But I can't wait to get into it, guys. Thanks again for all the support. Sorry again I had that stroke, but leave it with me. I'll keep improving, keep getting guests on. I'm going to have Finn on very soon during June, because it is Pride Month. Finn said, why not do it then? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's get the shit going, because that is easily the perfect time to have someone come on the show that is part of that community. So again, thanks for listening, guys. Can't wait to do the next one. And if you have any guest suggestions, feel free to put them down below. Thanks, guys.